Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. Welcome to Special Report for Friday, July 31st. We've made it to the end of the month and also to the weekend. I'd like to thank KC Securities for your sponsorship of Special Report. I'm Chris Oldcorn, and I'm here today with my guest hosts.
Daniel Laprade, Weather Daniel is here filling in today.
Yes, on the main desk this morning. Okay, speaking of announcements, we have Doug Ford coming up today at 1 o'clock. We'll be carrying that here for the Special Report 1 p.m. today. Today, the President of the Treasury Board, which is Peter Bethlen Flavy, and Dr. Barbara Yaffe. Yes, it is. Yeah, I always love when he's on there. And then Barbara Yaffe, Associate Chief Medical Officer of Health. Now, this is going to be at Queen's Park, so it's not part of Doug Ford's sort of roadshow that he's been doing around the province. And we'll have those comments for you at 1 o'clock, live here on TV. Okay, yesterday, big day. Speaking of Doug Ford, we have our partial plan, anyways, for September. We talked about this the last few days. There's a report that came out from Sick Kids, talked about how we could go back to school safely. What did they suggest for different age groups? Right. A lot of this is very similar to that. I mean, they did lower the age of having to wear a mask. The Sick Kids report said grade 7. The Ontario government has chosen that it's going to start at grade 4. Right. So yeah, so you're going to see, if your kids are between grade 4 and grade 12, they will be wearing a mask most of the time. If your kids are grade 3 and under, it's going to be optional. Right. You also have the option of not even sending your kids back to school. All of the school boards have been informed that they have to do remote learning as an option. And a couple other things here. They obviously, personal protective equipment and keeping kids safe, extra custodians, all that is a big part of this. So for example, also in high schools you'll be alternating. So it'll be max of 15 students in a class for high school. Unless
you're in a non-designated board, like say in our area.
Yeah, certain boards, they'll be able to do full class sizing. But if you are on one of the boards with 15, it'll be alternating back and forth. Right. So they'll go to school one day, not the next, things like that. But obviously, something that's a big concern, obviously, in areas like Algoma, where you take the bus to school a lot, they have put in a lot of money to clean the school buses between every single time they go in and out to pick the kids up and bring them to school and back. They've added 30 million extra for support staff for teachers, basically to help them clean desks, things like that. They put in 50 million. They're going to hire 500 additional school nurses to go across all of the different public health units. They'll be in the schools. They'll be there. If there's some sort of outbreak, you got a nurse right on site. Yes. They'll be able to do the testing.
They'll be trained in all the infections. The testing.
Yeah, so if it's thought that your kid has COVID-19, for example, or one of the teachers does, they'll be able to actually do the test right at the school and send the test away so you have it back, and then isolate anyone who's been in contact.
And if I'm not mistaken, Ford was saying yesterday, we're the only province at this point that's invested into that aspect with like the nurses and that. Now, I know other provinces are looking at it. So we're ahead of the game on that. And once again, right? I mean, Ontario was the first to close their schools, right? Yep. And so there's so these are some positive steps, right?
Yeah, and a couple of the other things. There's 75 million for 900 more custodians and to purchase extra cleaning supplies. And then for special needs students, obviously that's some students need help and they don't fully understand why am I wearing a mask, because I didn't wear a mask at school last year. So there's another 10 million in supports for special needs students to help in those classrooms as well. And they put another 10 million into the mental health for students. Now, this is 10 million on top of the other money they've already put into mental health.
That's right.
They put in 25 million for mental health and mental health technology already. And also they had 10 million for more mental health staff, resources, and programs as well. So in total, in mental health, they put in about 45 million. But they put this extra 10 million in because they didn't feel the 35 was already there was enough, so they put another 10 million. Probably because they were waiting to see what is September going to look like before we decide, okay, where are we going to spend the money? So basically there's about $309 million extra in this announcement to help kids go back to school, keep them safe, clean stuff, buy the cleaning supplies, hire the extra staff that they need. They are going to have to hire some teachers as well because of the smaller class sizes and so on.
That's true. So it will create some jobs
So there's actually going to be some jobs created there as well, which is great. So your kids here locally, it's going to be pretty safe going back to school.
And just to mention too, on that funding, the teachers' unions here, all four of the major teacher unions are arguing that the plan jeopardizes the safety of students and staff and that it's underfunded.
Yes, their argument there is that it's 7 cents per day per student being spent in this $309 million plan.
Right.
So that is like the argument behind what they're saying and being underfunded.
Yeah. Because
they're saying, how can you protect every student when you're only giving 7 cents per student per day to protect the kids? And that's valid. I mean, 7 cents per day doesn't sound like a lot of money.
No, when we have 2 million kids.
Yeah.
Right,
So, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. By the way, all these recommendations and the school plan is if there's less than 200 new cases each day here in the province of Ontario. So for example, let's say we have really low case numbers. Like for example, yesterday it was 89, day before it was 76, day before was 111. If, for example, cases start to spike up and we are consistently above 200 new cases a day, Sick Kids, which a lot of this is based off of, said that their advice is no longer valid and we're going to have to look at possibly complete remote learning again or a lot more hybrid model. They might scale back how often the elementary kids go to school. It might be every other day. So there's a lot of different things that are in play here. Locally, though, luckily for us, we don't have any active cases of COVID-19 that we know of. Doesn't mean someone's not walking around asymptomatic, but that's like anything.
And look at Sudbury.
You catch something, you don't get sick for several days, you don't even know you're walking around with it.
Right.
So there very well could be people walking around with COVID-19 who actually never even developed symptoms. Because that one nursing home here in town, they had three people test positive for COVID-19. The only reason they were even positive for COVID-19 was that's when Ford tested every person in a long-term care home.
Because they showed no symptoms.
They were asymptomatic. They never developed symptoms at all. So they never would have even known that they had COVID-19 if they weren't tested. So. But there is going to be lots of testing available for any students if they think there's any chance that a student has COVID-19. There'll also be health screening as well at the school each day too. So.
And that's important. You want the parents to know that they do have that choice too. They have that option. If they don't feel comfortable sending their student or their child back to school, that you have that option to, assess it depending on where you are in the province, right? Because every area is different.
Like I would feel fine sending my kids to school here in the Sioux. I think I would think twice if I was in, let's say, Windsor or Toronto. Ottawa just had a breakout. Sudbury's just had a bit of a breakout as well. Right. If I'm living in those areas, I might think twice about it. But as far as if my kids were here going to school here, I would be okay sending them based on what I've seen of this plan. I think for me, I would be comfortable. But. Alrighty, what's going on? We got some weather, obviously. For the weekend.
So we're going to do the weather. We'll look at our weather camera here, which is sponsored by wirelesscom.ca. You're going to see outside there are a few clouds. We are going to see a nice hot sunny day, but it's around seasonal. I'd say probably 25 we're looking at. A bit of humidity, but nothing too major. So it is going to be a gorgeous day and a couple of good days this weekend, but there is a change coming with potential for some showers and rain. So when we come back from this break, I will get into your full regional temperatures and your 3-day forecast and all those details when we come right back. So stay tuned.
Did you know that 1 in 3 people are affected by fire in their lifetime? Or that 1 in 3 fire deaths happen in homes with no working smoke alarms? You may have just seconds to safely escape a fire in your home. That's why early detection of fire is absolutely vital. Only working smoke alarms provide those precious seconds you and your family need to safely escape. Install smoke alarms on every story and outside all sleeping areas of your home. For added protection, install a smoke alarm in every bedroom. Test smoke alarms monthly by pressing the test button. If the alarm doesn't sound, install a new battery. Replace alarm batteries at least once a year and whenever the low battery warning chirps. And if the alarm still doesn't sound, replace the alarm with a new one. Smoke alarms have an expiry date. Remember to check the back of the smoke alarm for dates of manufacture. Replacement is within the time frame on the manufacturer's instructions. In most cases, 7 to 10 years. Always replace expired alarms. Remember, it's the law in Ontario to have working smoke alarms on every story of your home and outside all sleeping areas. Failure to comply with the Ontario Fire Code requirements could result in a fine or even jail time. So protect yourself and your loved ones by ensuring that all your smoke alarms are functional and up to code. For more fire safety information, please visit www.saultestmarie.ca/firesafe.
At Maitland Ford Lincoln, we see our trucks everywhere. We see them on Queen Street, Lake Street, North Street, Bay Street, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, Pine Street, Great Northern Peoples Road, Wellington, Cora Road, Bruce Street, Carmen's Way, Northern Ave, Trunk Road. Folks come from all over Algoma District and beyond to buy their truck at Maitland Ford Lincoln. Amazing prices, outstanding service. King Street, Shannon Road, Goulet Bay, Black Road, Government Road, and even on Pine Shores. Yep, our trucks are everywhere. Get yours at Maitland Ford Lincoln, built for Northern life, on Great Northern Road, just north of the hospital.
Good morning. Welcome back to Special Report for Friday, July 31st. We've got a couple Facebook shout-outs before we get to the weather. So I'd like to say good morning to Nicole and Marilyn. Good morning to you both. Thank you very much for watching the show this morning and commenting on our Facebook feed. If you want to interact with us live on the air, you can go to Facebook, click on Sue Online, click on the live show, and you can post a comment in there, or if you want us to do a birthday shout out or anniversary or graduation or your kids are leaving home, any big event in your life that you want us to say on air, just post it in the comments and we will say it on air and wish whoever you want happy birthday, etc. So what's going on for this weekend for people who are having birthday parties?
Yes. Thank you very much, Chris. And good morning again, everyone. We are going to see a pretty good weekend overall. We will see some showers and some rain maybe moving in on Sunday and Sunday night. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but we're going to just take a look at your regional temperatures right now for Northern Ontario. So your expected highs today are 27 in Thunder Bay, 26 in Wawa, 27 in Timmins as well, and Sault Ste. Marie here we're going to be at 25. We are actually the cool spot for once, so Wawa is getting a break from that. And then 27 in Elliott Lake and 28 in Sudbury is the expected high. It will be the hot spot over there. And our expected lows are going to be 14 in Thunder Bay as well as in Wawa, 15 in Timmins, 17 here in Sault Ste. Marie, Elliott Lake, and Sudbury as well. So another comfortable seasonal night around here. We aren't going to see a whole lot of activity going on overnight tonight into Saturday. Okay, getting into your current weather here, we're sitting at 17 and we have a few clouds as you saw in the camera earlier. Those will clear out. You will see that high of 25 with a humidex of 28. There is a little bit of a breeze from the northwest, 12 kilometers, so it is a cooler breeze, which is nice. And you'll see that sun for most of the day, and then you are going to get down to about a low of 17 overnight as mentioned. Following on with your 3-day here, we are going to see on Saturday a very hot day with a high UV index. We're looking at a UV index of 9, which is very high. You are going to see some humidity, and it'll be a perfect day for the beach if you are going for this long weekend. Low of 16 overnight. And Sunday you're going to see some rain and, potentially some showers, high of 23. Monday you will see 20 degrees and back to seasonal. And a quick look at your 7-day here. The rest of the week, next week, we're getting back down to seasonal with temperatures in the low 20s and our mid-teens for overnight. So lots of sun coming up, guys. So make sure that you get out and enjoy it this long weekend.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a good weekend this weekend. So we're going to hit up the beach. Also, good morning to Cindy, who just posted in our comments section as well. So good morning to you. We're going to be back at 1 p.m. with Doug Ford's press conference, as we normally are. Today, the President of the Treasury Board, Peter Bethlen Flavy, is going to be there, as well as Dr. Barbara Yaffe, who's the Associate Chief Medical Officer of Health. Yep. This one's coming from Queen's Park, and we will see you at 1 p.m. for that. Thank you very much to KC Securities for sponsorship. And on behalf of Daniel and myself, have a fantastic morning, and we'll be back at 1 p.m.
See you then.